Alex, this whisper chip you gave me, it's an easy plant?
You're heading into TF-29? Already?
Our enemies aren't waiting around while we lick our wounds.
Fair enough. There'll be a data port on the NSN's motherboard. Access it and then just plug and play. Or plug and record in this case.
Got it. I'll let you know when it's done.
Maybe the connection is that there is no...
I think my blood is about to...
It'd be easier if we would just step up and do it. No, got nothing else on the building.
Close my eyes and all of these streams of coke swirling on my lids.
Adam Jensen, please report to Peter Chang's office. Adam Jensen, Peter Chang's office. Adam, you're here. You made it in. It's good to see you're okay.
Hey, Aria, yeah, it was a close call. I got lucky. A lot of people didn't.
I was here working when the first reports came in. It was chaos. Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling to find out what was going on. Then when Miller told me you were there,
I'm alright.
Good. You looking for him? Because he's tied up right now and meeting with Leon, I think.
Really? He's using the NSN right now?
Yeah, I just saw him. Oh, hey, that reminds me, here's yours.
What's this?
The card for the shooting range. Chang changed all the codes this morning, said something about only giving access to people he's vetted personally. The bombing really freaked him out. Third one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Thanks, Aria. I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I better get back downstairs. It's gonna be a busy day. Come by later if you want to talk.
Copy that.
You think one of them will pop up?
The Jinn still believe it.
Dr. Ozen, you have an outside call cleared and waiting. Urgent. Urgent. Caterina Morgan to agent's office. Agent Dorian, fully urgent.
I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too close to the edge.
He made it out of Dubai, didn't he?
I'm telling you, if it had been anyone but Jensen on the ground, Singh would be dead.
Well, you know what? I think you're right.
You think one of them would pop up at some point?
Agents Lee, Walker, and Hall report to the briefing. Caterina Morgan to agent fully urgent. Urgent. Caterina Morgan to agent.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Alex, the whisper chip is in.
Weird, it's already picking up a freak. Jesus, Adam, is Miller in there right now?
Shit, gotta go.
Jensen, I need to see you, now!
Agent Jensen reporting for duty, sir. Tried to do it earlier, but you were on a conference call.
Yeah, I was. Should I be worried about you, Jensen?
Sorry.
That blow you took to your systems. It's not messing with your head or anything, making you do things.
I'm not gonna go crazy and start attacking people, if that's what you're worried about.
You've been checked out then. The problem with your orbs is gone.
I took care of it.
Good, good. God knows, with all that's happened, I need you at 100% right now.
You sounded pissed when you called me in. Everything okay?
Don't ever leave the field, Jensen. You'll regret it. As soon as you strap a desk to your ass, you'll be swimming in goddamn politics.
The boss is giving you trouble?
What? Oh, that. No, the trouble's state police. They're pushing us out of the Rosika investigation. I want you over there to make sure that doesn't happen.
You're putting me on the train station attack? Not Dubai?
Forget Dubai. McCready's handling it.
With all due respect, we were blindsided in Dubai, and those mercs put up one hell of a firefight. I'd like to know who they were.
They were augmented, Jensen. Chances are this will lead right back home.
To the train station attack?
Maybe. It's possible. But we won't know for sure if we don't investigate both. Mac's a solid agent. I'm confident he'll dig up something on the gold masks. And once we get Singh reinserted with the Jinn, he might be able to use their network to find out even more, as long as his cover wasn't blown. Regardless, I want you looking into Rosika before the state police fuck up our crime scene.
Yes, sir. You said they're trying to push us out?
I sent Fletcher in this morning to oversee evidence collection. Seems he's being detained, because he hasn't checked in since.
They can't lock us out. The Czech Republic signed our UN mandate agreement. They gave us jurisdiction over terrorist investigations.
Yeah, well, the former director of their security information services runs state police now. He's come up with a loophole, claiming this attack falls under the homegrown terror exemption.
Homegrown? He's saying it's ARC? The Augmented Rights Coalition?
I don't care what he's saying. He may even be right. I just want us in there so we can find out.
So where do I start?
Technically, you're supposed to speak to our psychologist before getting back into action.
I don't need a shrink.
Convenient because she's not in the office right now, and I don't want to waste any more time.
So how do I get to Rosika? Public transportation's not stopping there.
It will for you once I make a phone call. Head to the metro and call me when you're there. Good luck, Agent.
both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting to you, live from Hub.
You have your orders, Jensen.
I'm doing extra communications scans.
Have you seen Vince around?
We talking about the same Vince? He's black. The people studying the train station security camera footage asked my opinion about how vulnerable the surveillance systems were. Any grade B hacker could have tampered with the station security cameras. It would have taken half an hour. 10 minutes for me. Any grade B hacker could have tampered with the station security cameras. It would have taken half an hour. 10 minutes.
Listening to this police chatter? Oh my god, it's a comedy of errors.
Last night, the collective published the tax returns of the 50 richest people in Switzerland.
We're advising people to stay at home, so someone needs to be the example.
Cute. But they're never going to beat the time they broadcast that sweatshop during the halftime show.
You know state police aren't above profiling.
Oh, here we go. The Diwali crime family. As you may already know, they're one of the largest crime syndicates in Eastern Europe, but they do business almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East. After their humble beginnings in a coastal town in Georgia, the Diwali quickly moved from gambling to more lucrative criminal enterprises, till they found their specialty, smuggling, which includes human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere. It's as if borders just don't exist to them. But their rapid expansion came at the cost of their Georgian purity when they started incorporating an ever-increasing number of Russians into the group. If you ask me, I think a major power struggle is coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new. The past versus the future. Ah, what to say about the Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members were running operations out of Montreal in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman Bank Station? Bell Tower? Anyway, the Collective is a group of hacker activists, or hacktivists. Oh my god, I hate that word. Dedicated to the cause of freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the Collective, but there is one name that echoes over the darknet. And that name that echoes even louder than Hex, and you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me, that name is Janus. And some say Janus runs everything, while others think there is no Janus.
How's security over there?
Hey, Agent Jensen, nice work in Dubai. But still, you know what I want to know is who those ogged up guys in the gold masks were. I'll be compiling all the case files, and as soon as I know anything, it'll be up on the board.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh spent a long time getting in with the gin. Be ashamed to have it blow his cover.
State police are playing stingy with sharing evidence.
Janus relies on public perception.
State police aren't above profiling.
Patience is the first thing you learn to have. Second, is a good soft chair.
You think maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
For crying out loud.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an actual investigation.
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh spent a long time getting in with the gin. Be ashamed to have it blow his cover.
Listening to this police chatter?
Maybe the connection.
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh spent a long time getting in with the gin. Be ashamed to have it blow his cover.
How's security over there?
What I need you to do is listen to me. You think one of them will pop up on some list?
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking. You know,
maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
No, that's not consistent with the train station.
The New Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective.
Maybe the connection is that there is no connection.
Is that fucked up? Dragnet.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any mention of them.
It's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Who am I? I'm the guy doing his fucking job. Who the fuck are you?
Been everywhere for
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
Thanks. Keep digging. No, it's the right call. I'm relieved,
Janus.
to be honest.
I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
This is so weird.
They don't care about jurisdiction.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours. Still nothing.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an eyewitnesses were smashed in the explosion.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
Here we go. The Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God. This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the machine god through a ritual they call
I highly doubt whoever did this.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it. Is it or is it not a probable target?
These guys might as well be ghosts.
You know, state police aren't above profiling. They've been everywhere for the past week.
The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman and they call her Mother. It's creepy, right? I think that's really
one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
They're posturing, as opposed to.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into.
There's something here, I'll find it.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around.
No, that's not consistent with the
They don't care about jurisdictional crap.
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Listening to this police chatter? My God, it's a comedy of errors.
Dr. Talos Rucker, former limb clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utrecht complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an actual investigation.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb fight myself, but no dice.
There isn't much here to go on.
How's security over there?
Negative.
You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and AUGs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours. Still nothing.
Thanks. Keep digging.
Ah, Agent Singh, great poker player. I still owe him 100 credits. So I hope his incursion with the gin lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
They don't care about jurisdictional crap. You know, state police aren't above profiling.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
What I need you to do is listen to me.
It'd It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
We're advising people to stay at home, so someone needs to be the example.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Ah, Wasim Alam, the head of the Jinn, former limb clinic doctor and surgeon before he turned to more profitable enterprises. He brings the same cold and calculated approach he brought to saving lives to running his business with his brother, Salar.
Nothing.
Most likely eyewitnesses were smashed in the explosion.
They don't care about jurisdictional press.
Maybe the connection is that there is no
You'd think
connection.
one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
They've been everywhere for the past week.
I would have thought you'd had your fill of these guys since Dubai, Jensen. The Jinn, a group of smugglers led by twin brothers, Salar and Wasim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely in Muscat, Oman. The brothers Alam have been in operation since 2020 and have greatly expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries, ex-military, nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding region. They deal in drugs, weapons, medical implants, augs, and they occasionally throw in some human trafficking.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Is that fucked up?
For crying out loud.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an actual investigation.
This is so weird.
This guy is the face of the Jinn
There isn't
and
much
a
here to go on.
charismatic force of nature. They call him the Bull of the North and the Heart of the Jinn. Real name Salar. Works in conjunction with his cold and calculating brother, Wasim, who saved his life during the AUG incident. He is proudly augmented and parades his AUGs around wherever and whenever he likes. The hatred of AUGs from groups around the world has only emboldened him and his organization. Purity First is an anti-AUG group dedicated to keeping humans human, all pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for multiple acts of breaking and entering, vandalism, and theft. On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of human purity. They've been quiet since the incident. Ah, the elusive Radic Nikoladze. This guy's a piece of work, driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family. The man spends more money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks and the haute couture fool you. He's the boss, he's in control, and he squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way.
One of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Otar Batkavelli. This guy's a classic. They don't make many like him anymore. Sharp mind, a real businessman. One of those gangsters who thinks that crime is a necessary evil, you know? If it's gonna happen, he's there to make sure people have respect and make good money. Good business.
I think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Otar's right-hand man is this guy, Vano. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean, but he's strong and loyal, something Otar values greatly.
I highly doubt whoever did this had bothered to say.
Ah, the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right?
What I need
We
you
don't have a
to
last
do
name
is
for Constantine,
listen.
but until his death in the Rizika bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Batkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the organization, all the way up to Radic Nikoladze and beyond. Between you and me, I suspect that he's a Pakhan, a spy that watches the Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss.
That's all the data I have right now.
The classic Diwali structure has two spies, or Pakhans, working for the lieutenant who report directly to the boss, to make sure he stays the boss. Those guys are pretty violent.
Maybe the connection is that there is no connection.
I'd rather
Is
not
that
say what this
fucked up?
reminds me of.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
We're advising people to stay. At home, so someone needs to be the example.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours.
Conducting an actual investigation. How's security over there?
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want it. Most likely, I think it's fucking job.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
I highly doubt whoever...
Collective is one of
Jakarta's no picnic right now, I'll tell you that.
despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Cassan.
There was another attempt to breach our firewall last night.
From Picus.
We never got an official okay from the Indonesians, so... The reason I know it isn't the Juggernaut Collective who tried to hack us is that they gave up after only an hour. The last team walked straight into an ambush. The reason I know it isn't the Juggernaut Collective who tried to hack us is that they gave up after only an hour. Exfil is impossible. The LZ's totally overrun.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around. Is it or is it not a problem?
No, that's not consistent with the train station cameras.
Maybe the connection is that there is no connection. Is that...
Jensen, we need to talk. My God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha Dovos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up IntelliCam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
I'm gonna need more information about this snoop of yours.
I don't know for sure that our cover's been blown, but if it has, we need to know before our enemies have a chance to do something about it.
You got an MO in this hacker?
At first I thought it might be the Collective.
But you're not convinced?
Not Janus's style to leave crumbs this big. But whoever it is, they risk exposing us. If the Collective ever found out where we operate... My God, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are...
TF-29 likes its privacy.
Sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions.
What can you tell me about our front company?
Praha Dovos was designed to be forgettable. The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, Director burrows into some hole, poof, no Christmas party. I need you to find out as much as you can about our snoop. Make sure we're not in danger.
All right. You have any leads?
I traced our hacker snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Hlavni, just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Shouldn't you be out there tracking down whoever tried to hack into us?
You said some hacker's been getting too close to the task force. What is it you need me to do exactly?
I gave you the address of where the hack's been coming from. I need you to find out who's doing this. Figure out what they know and what they want. Remember, if the location of the task force is exposed, none of us are safe.
So
For crying out loud. Maybe the connection is that there is no connection.
Deborah Connolly, you have an outside call cleared and waiting. Katarina Morgan, Agent Milligan, report to Agent
I can't really talk to you now. I'm busy.
Agent Wright, please report to your department. Agent Wright, at your department. Agent Milligan is not is that fun?
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam, hang on a sec. Filling out supply request forms for McCready and his boys is tedious as hell, but I don't want to give him another reason to say no.
say no to what?
Are you kidding me? Right now, you're the only active augmented agent we have. I'm hoping to change that, been asking him every week practically, but so far, permission denied.
Really? He give you a reason?
Says my stress levels are too high. Told me I should sign up for meditation classes and drag Chang in with me so he'd chill out and stop changing security codes all the time. It sucks because I really wanted to find out who those crashers in Dubai were.
You were saying your stress levels were affecting your chances of becoming a field agent. Why is that?
I have a rare resistance to neuropazine. I need more than the average person, especially in stressful situations. They say I'd be too expensive, so it's not just discrimination. That would be easier to deal with. It's a combination of things.
Well, that combination of things is pretty bad in Prague, and getting worse.
I know, but Interpol was the only agency who would give me a chance, and this is where I was assigned. I have no problem with that. I'll take whatever they throw at me.
Good.
It took me months of rehabilitation, getting used to the new arm, learning how to shoot again, learning how to tie my own boots. But I did it, and I'm better than I was before. I want to help, and I can. My place is out there in the field where I can make a difference. You know that. And if you can do it, so can I.
Don't give up, Aria. Semper Fi.
Hoorah.
I still can't believe Miller gave the gold mask case to McCready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You were there too. You're probably as pissed about those guys getting the drop on the team in Dubai as McCready is. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. Agent Singh might have been killed.
It could have been worse. That's why I want to find these guys. Maybe I'll talk to McCready, see if I can help.
Good luck with that. He chewed me out for asking if I could help with the case. I should have kept his new keycard. I don't want him stinking up my range anyway.
After the bombing, when Chang changed all the locks and codes, was he under orders? Was there a credible threat to our location?
Maybe, but I don't think so. You know how he gets. Still, he wasn't the only one overreacting this time. A lot of people have been here for over 36 hours, and the state police have not exactly been cooperative.
I can imagine.
It took several hours before we got the security footage from the train station and surrounding streets. It's like they don't trust Interpol. It's weird. I can almost understand Chang's paranoia.
Well, Chang doesn't trust anyone, especially anyone in law enforcement.
Well, if you thought he was high-strung before, the attack only made him more manic. He's making connections no one else sees, and some that may not be there.
Explosions tend to damage things like sensitive electronic equipment.
Right? Try telling him that.
Well, I better let you get back to work.
Yeah, sure. Talk to you later.
So, you've decided you need some practice, huh? You know the best tip my training officer ever gave me? Reload your weapon before it's empty. Saves time. If you zoom in using iron sight, you'll acquire targets faster. Try it. You'll see the difference. Of course, you know a headshot is the fastest way to take down a target. But watch out for helmets. They'll slow you down. Okay, if your target is wearing armor, you'll do less damage per round. Through? Let's try armor piercing this time. Easier, right? Remember that, Agent. The right tool for the right situation. Could save your life. Now, let's take a look at the technical targets. These are tougher to disable using regular ammo. tell me shooting security devices isn't usually the best way to go. You should try to disable them. Once you've disabled a security device, your armor-piercing rounds will take it out more easily. You should always have at least one backup weapon, so you can improvise, adapt, overcome any situation. Hoorah! Seems like you're warmed up now. Let's go over some of the other aspects of your weapons. I like how silencers reduce sound, but the trade-off is less stopping power, less damage per hit. Extra ammo you need because it's silent. Back to normal. But if you need to be quiet, Adam, the silencer's the way to go. Just remember the decreased damage. You know there are several other types of attachments you can use to upgrade your weapons. Keep your eyes open for them. Again, reloading your weapon before it's empty saves time. Pistol in full auto will take down targets fast, but it'll burn through your ammo. That's your refresher. But I'm sure you already knew all that stuff, Adam. Feel free to come back anytime.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam. What's up?
Maybe the connection that there is no connection. Is that fucked up? Thanks. Keep digging.
There isn't much here to go on.
Close my eyes, but all I see is strings of code scrolling on my lid.
If there's something here, I'll find it.
Security put the train station spotty. No one's claimed responsibility yet.
The thing about the Russians is they never tell you the whole story.
Some people are bored by reconnaissance footage, but I love it.
Things got pretty hairy.
Still waiting for the report on that golden train.
It says 20 minutes to confirm, but they're sure it belongs to the
Officers are always
police.
2 versions behind.
Not now, Jensen. I'm dealing with the situation here.
still believe what some told them or don't. We need to know. Things got pretty hairy in Dubai. They don't want to be caught in the dragnet. These are the chances he knew he was taking.
The United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter.
There was a code signal sent to the bar until minutes before our mystery guest showed up. I'm working on decrypting it.
These are the chances he knew he was taking. For crying out loud. I feel terrible for his wife. Janus relies on public perception. Do the Jinn still believe what some told them or don't they? We need to know.
Radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an elusive vigilante.
Agent Wright, please report to your department. Agent Wright, Cadet.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam.
Right now, I think my blood is about to...
Maybe the right next is up there is knowledge. Something left out.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam.
So, you've decided you need some practice, huh?
Somewhere in this city, there's a mob-owned casino in the sewer. I've heard everything.
I'll run it through a few filters. They have better software than the old. Satellite offices are always two persons.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
Right now, I think my blood is about 60% caffeinated.
Security footage from the train station is spotty at best.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want to do this.
No one's claimed responsibility.
My eyeball.
Get
was another attempt to breach our firewall last night.
Yes, President.
Urgent. Katarina Newman to Control's office. Agent Dorgan.
I feel terrible for his wife.
Thanks. These keep things.
Look, I'm sorry. We're all in strung out shape.
They have better software than we do. Satellite offices are always 2 versions behind. How now?
Starting through garbage for hours, still nothing.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
Look, I'm sorry. We're all in strung out
No,
shape.
it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
This is so weird.
Listening to this police chatter? Oh my god, it's a comedy of errors.
Live from Lycan.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
When an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been... Went to a psychotic killing spree. Causing the greatest loss of life.
One of them would pop up on some list.
A while before any of us can get it. This is Eliza Cassell, reporting to you live from Lycan. Exclusive to anonymity. We are the great themselves of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made profiling.
They police are placed.
Information on Palisade Property Bank.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list.
I think Director Miller's making a mistake, putting all our resources into finding these
Agent
bodies.
Jensen! You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Rasika Train.
Agent Singh. Wasn't expecting to see you again, in civvies at least.
Just passing through. I wanted to thank your team for the backup in Dubai. That sting went to hell faster than the storm did.
You're welcome, but I don't think you came all this way to say thanks.
Director Miller asked me to get Agent McCready up to speed. Now I have the red-eye flight back to Oman.
Headed into the field office there?
Not exactly. One of our black sites. I'll be dropped in as a captured enemy combatant. After I contact my fellow Jinn prisoners, I shall lead a very convenient escape.
Re-embedding with the Jinn. Aren't you taking a big risk, given everything that happened?
No choice. That ambush knocked everyone on their asses. TF-29, Bell Tower, the Jinn. To cover all the angles, I need to go back. Hopefully my cover is still good. You killing the signal booster at the hotel should help.
You're thinking the Jinn can get a beat on our gate crashers faster than TF-29.
Perhaps. They do not like loose ends. An augmented kill squad with military training. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, once. But it's a long story. Did we get anything out of the cleanup operation?
Mostly corpses. Heavily augmented, as you know. Under those gold masks, they were ID scrubbed. No prints, no dentals, no DNA match. Professional.
Could still be ex-Bell Tower. Plenty of men and material went AWOL after the incident. A competing faction that listened in on Shepard's sale.
It's a possibility. The audits and investigations of Bell Tower will go on for years before we know how many rats jumped from that ship. At least we recovered their weapons. Unlisted. High spec. Military-grade augmentation. Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augment ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist. Whoever they were, they knew exactly when the deal was going down. Any chance they were based locally, in Dubai?
No. After the incident, Dubai became the world's most luxurious tombstone. Perfect for the Jinn, but for no one else.
I thought human augmentation was frowned on in the Middle East. Why was Dubai hit so hard?
Because it was another world. Two other worlds, in fact. One of extreme augmentations in gold or crystal, and one of thousands of workers outfitted for construction. Then, that day.
I know.
No, Agent Jensen, you could not. Some called it divine punishment. But that day was not the work of a merciful God.
I don't envy what you've got ahead of you.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it. The truth is, when you've been under for long enough, you only feel like an imposter out here, in the real world.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
It is Jensen, yes?
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
God. First the Dubai mission, and now the train station bombing. This is a week for the record books.
That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree,
This is
causing
so
the greatest
weird.
loss of life in recent history.
I guess the
I
transit
cannot
authority
speak for
isn't
you
in as much of
folks,
a hurry as
but
you are.
terrifying memories of that day still haunt me. It will certainly be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the
I've run
legal
DNA
jurisdiction
checks
of
through all
any
the
government.
alphabet agencies. Nothing.
I guess the transit authority
Palisade
isn't
Bank
in as much of a
Corporation
hurry as
is
you are.
now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Picus Media.
This is so weird.
Always watching, because you are always watching. Turning now to Prague, a city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack.
I guess the
Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Ruzicka train station.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
But this is the third such attack to strike Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization is peaceful.
These guys might as well be
To
ghosts.
ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing his tune? Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you
This is
live
so weird.
from Picus. Picus News, the global leader in fair, unbiased, and impartial reporting. And now for a close look at the events making headlines around the world. Here are our top stories. Is freedom of the press a threat to our
I've
freedom?
run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies.
Irresponsible
Nothing.
journalists, it can be. Underground websites and radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an elusive group of vigilante hackers who are exposing big money corruption. What these journalists overlook, however,
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
last year, the collective shut down London's traffic grid, causing gridlock for hours and preventing life-saving medical transports from getting through. In Chile, they committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system
These guys might
and
as well be
elected a
ghosts.
12-year-old boy as president. In Russia, hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the U.S., millions of workers lost their jobs when the collective leaked classified corporate documents, causing several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list
The
somewhere.
collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Ariel is constantly bringing you the best.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Our portable data solutions have massive storage capacity, flexible streams, and over 1,000 other unique and patented features.
Retreat into my skull.
Ariel, up in the stratosphere.
Back to New York, and a more
This is so
in-depth
weird.
look at UN Security Council Resolution 3507, also known as the Human Restoration Act. This legislation, if passed, calls for the removal and downgrading of all overly powerful, unlicensed augmentations. Individuals who
I've
fail
run
to
DNA
comply
checks through all
will
the
be
alphabet
arrested and
agencies.
relocated
Nothing.
to designated AUG-only locations.
Really hate this.
Safety is the primary concern, especially in the wake of the AUG incident, where millions of people lost their lives due to malfunctioning augmentations. Opponents of the legislation have been
I've run
protesting
DNA
all
checks
over
through
the
all the
world,
alphabet agencies.
and many of the
Nothing.
protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence and rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story.
Retreat into my skull.
This is Eliza Kassan,
This is so
reporting
weird.
to you live from Picus.
They have batteries. Got this. Shanti Entertainment.
I guess the transit authority isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
Shut.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Sista Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder
You'd think one of them would
suggest
pop
that
up
the
on
man
some
may
list
have been
somewhere.
suffering flashbacks to the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history. I cannot speak for you folks, but
Look, I'm going as
terrifying
fast as
memories
I've
of
run
that day
DNA
still
checks
haunt
through all
me.
the alphabet agencies.
It will certainly
Nothing.
be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Exclusivity, anonymity, security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age.
You'd think one of them
And
would
we
pop
at
up on some
Palisade
list
Property
somewhere.
Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured, anonymity.
I guess the
Palisade
transit
Bank
authority
Corporation is now, and forever will be, the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Picus News. Always watching. Because you are always watching.
I really hate this.
Turning now to
These
Prague.
guys might as well
a
be
city
ghosts.
still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday
guess
when
the
bombs
transit authority
exploded
isn't
inside
even
Mazika
as
train
hurry as you are.
station. I do not need to remind you folks that this is the third such attack to strike Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization is peaceful and merely seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations
You'd
set
think
to
one of
debate
them would
the
pop
Human
up on some
Restoration
list
Act in a
somewhere.
matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing his tune? Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you, live, from Picus. Picus News, the global leader in fair, unbiased,
guys
and
might as well be
impartial
ghosts.
reporting. And now for a close look at the events making headlines around the world. Here are our top stories. Is freedom of the press a threat to our freedom? In the hands of irresponsible journalists, it can be. Underground websites and radio stations.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
It is Jensen, yes? I guess the transit authority isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
What these journalists over
I've got to hand it to you for your role in Dubai.
First the Dubai mission and now
Agent
the train
Jensen!
station bombing. This is a week for the record books.
I'm scheduled to return from the dead. 0:30 O'Malley time.
I think Director Miller's making a mistake, putting all our resources into finding these Dubai newcomers.
In Russia, hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the US, millions of...
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into the gold mask mercs that hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You check with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. That's why it's a good thing you disabled the Jinn's comms booster in Dubai. Singh's cover with the Jinn is still intact. I'm hoping once he's back in Basra, he can use his network to dig around. Maybe these gold-masked jokers will ping locally. Probably another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys in the desert.
Ah, is that so? You have some new information you feel like sharing?
Come on, McCready. These guys were augmented with military-grade hardware. Body augmentation goes against Muslim beliefs. They weren't jihadists. We're dealing with something new here.
I can see where you're going with this, Jensen, and I'm asking you right now to back off it. It's not your case.
Come on, McCready. We're not a couple of beat cops filling a monthly quota here. This isn't about whose collar it is. It's about getting the people responsible. Full stop.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm working a $5 investigation on 50 cents worth of shit. I've got speculation to spare, mate. Listen, I know I come off strong. I've got 3 ex-wives that'll back that up. But that's just how I'm built. Putting on a show for the new guys isn't going to change what's underneath.
I can appreciate that kind of honesty.
Good. So when I say I'm impressed with how you handled yourself in Dubai, you can appreciate that I meant it. With that sandstorm giving us colonics, stripping the juice box out the chopper was an inspired choice. But that mission is over, and your involvement in it ends now. Got it?
How the hell did you get such a sunny disposition anyway, McCready?
Knowing about me is not going to make us friends, Jensen. But I'll humor you. Fine. I joined regular army straight out of secondary school, made UKSF at 25 and was recruited into the SRR 4 years later.
Special Reconnaissance Regiment. That's an elite unit.
Oh yeah, it was very glamorous. All champagne and blowjobs.
So what happened?
After 12 years hunting terrorist shitbirds across every desert on the face of the earth, I found there was no fucking end to the evil this world churned out. I couldn't see the point in what we were doing anymore. So I quit.
So what brought you back to the life?
I suppose it was purpose. A tool without a job to do can only grow rust. So here I am, back in it, serving my purpose. As a tool yourself, mate, you should understand that, yeah?
Yeah. But tell me, why do you think the bodies from Dubai were sent to Oman?
Fuck knows. Rumor is that Oman was pissed that we got the green light for the gig in the first place. Can't blame them, really.
You don't think it's strange we got the call over them?
I stopped questioning the logic of the big noise a long time ago. What I'm told is we were the only team ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So then you know what I know. That everything?
Yeah, I got it. It was nice talking to you, McCready.
No, it wasn't. Look, Jensen, I told you I have work to do.
The collective shut down London's traffic grid, causing gridlock for hours, and preventing life-saving medical transports from getting through. In Chile, they committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected a 12-year-old boy as president. In Russia, combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the US, millions of workers lost their jobs when the collective leaked classified corporate documents, causing several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt. Between you and me, folks, the collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Ariel is constantly bringing you the best and latest technology. Our portable data solutions have massive storage capacities, flexible streams, and over 1,000 other unique and patented features. Ariel, up with the stratosphere.
Back to New York, and a more in-depth look at UN Security Council Resolution 3507, also known as the Human Restoration Act. This legislation, if passed, calls for the removal and downgrading of all overly powerful, unlicensed documentation.
I guess the Transit Authority isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
It's gonna take them a while.
These are the chances you made a mistake.
All the data I have. It's gonna take them a while.
Listening to this police coverage?
Yep. A comedy of errors. Thanks. Keep digging.
Dialogue on both sides of the issue.
Who am I? I'm the guy doing this fucking job. Who the fuck are you?
This is Eliza Kassan.
Close my eyes.
Things got pretty hairy at Dubai.
There was another attempt to breach our firewall last night.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want any more things.
Analyst White, please see Security Chief Collins. White is report to Agent fully urgent. Urgent.
guide the people if they had
Satellite offices are always too big.
of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Hikers News, always watching, because you are always watching. Turning now to Prague, a city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Rizika train station. I do not need to remind you folks that this is the third such attack to strike Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization is peaceful and merely seeks to ensure the rights of
I guess the transit authority isn't in as much of a hurry as you are.
Do you think one
It
of them
is
would
Jensen.
pop up on some list somewhere?
Close my eyes, but all I see is what are the chances of doing it?
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Turning now to Prague, a city
These
still
guys
reeling
might as well
in
be
the wake of
ghosts.
a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday.
Look, I'm going as fast as I
Bombs
can.
exploded inside
It is Jensen. Yes?
I do not
I'm scheduled to return from the dead at 0:30 Omani time.
All them occurring after Dr. Talos Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization is peaceful and merely seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing his tune? Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Pike. Picus News, global leader in fair, unbiased, and
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Underground websites and radio stations continue to praise the Juggernaut Collective, an elusive group of vigilante hackers for exposing big money corruption. What these journalists overlook, however, is the damage these hackers leave in their wake. Last year, the Collective shut down London's traffic grid, causing gridlock for hours and preventing life-saving medical transports from getting through. In Chile, they committed massive voter fraud when they rigged the electronic voting system and elected a 12-year-old boy as president. In Russia, hacked combat drones attacked St. Petersburg. And in the US, millions of workers lost their jobs when the Collective leaked classified corporate documents, causing several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt. Between you and me, folks, the Collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Ariel is constantly bringing
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into... a lot.
Left out...
So in other words... Yeah. How the...
the Human Restoration Act. This legislation...
I've run DNA checks through all the...
Agent Jensen!
No.
I guess the transit delay isn't...
Fully urgent.
Satellite offices are always too busy behind. Right now, I think my blood is about to start.
Safety is the primary concern, especially in the wake of the augmentation. Malfunctioning augmentation. Opponents of the legislation have been protesting all over the world, and many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence and rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely. In the story, this is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you, live, from Picus.
They may have bad press. You got this. Ashanti Energy. All you need is to get
In yet another augmented one passenger is to airline flight.
Dick Reese says they're still hauling out bodies.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Jejich ochočený zvířátko. Hej! Hej! Slyšíte mě? Sežeňte mi kurva právníka! Já vás všechny zažaluju! Já s tím neměl nic společného, ty kreténe! Můžeš mě zmlátit, mořit hladem, to je fuk, pravdu nezměníš! Tví šéfové hledají obětního beránka, ale já se jen tak nedám. To jim klidně vyřiď, šroube! Tví šéfové hledají obětního beránka, ale já se jen tak nedám. To jim klidně vyřiď, šroube!
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam. What's up?
Alex, did we get anything from the Whisper chip?
We got something, but Jane has provided the wrong algorithm for the frequencies, so they aren't getting deciphered correctly.
Can you fix it?
I'm a pilot, not a programmer. I can do it, but it's gonna take some time.
Can't believe a word they say. Sorry if I was rude before. If the store had been empty.
We all have our roles to play, Sedlak. How's yours going?
It is giving me new respect for criminals who run front operations. Late shipments, supply problems, random police searches at customs. Ugh.
I thought this store was just a front.
Best Front is a real company. Prahadovos is registered as an international shipping corporation in every country in the EU. I can get an office, way station, or depot up and running anywhere in Europe within 72 hours. I do not suppose you spoke to Agent Chang while you were down there.
He told me you've been hacked. I'm looking into it.
Good. I will sleep better knowing an experienced field agent is on the case.
Anything you can tell me about this hack?
Chang will know more than me. I just told him something strange was going on. Utility statements being accessed, incomplete information on orders, that kind of thing.
The kind of thing that's easy to miss. Surprised you noticed it.
When you have been doing this as long as me, you start to question every little thing. Plus, that old lady kept coming around.
Old lady?
Chatty thing. I thought she was just lonely, until I caught her staring at the terminal when my back was turned.
Did you confront her about it?
I told Chang. Asked him to put a field agent on it.
Field agent?
We both know the deal, Jensen. There are two types of agents in this office. The ones who do the footwork and work the leads, and the ones who analyze them.
And you think Chang's one of those?
I think Chang lives in his head too much. He is good. He's very good. But it is also good that the task force brought in a new psychologist this month.
Well, I'd better get going. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Do not tell me, tell Chang. I have a cover to keep. I'm glad you were not hurt in the bombing yesterday, Agent Jensen. The task force needs good men like you.
Thanks, Sedlak. Take care.
Take my advice. If you were thinking about shipping something with these people, don't.
Wonderful.
Oyobo, you interested in some merchandise?
Hey, Mr. Machine.
Train station. I do not need to remind you folks.
Come on in. Weapons
such
for
attack to
sale.
strike Froggen.
Lots of
Hey,
reporting to you.
I can't believe you're selling clean guns for a good price. alone in the room. Rather keep all my parts, thanks.
Huh? Nah.
Chang, I think I have something on our secret admirer. Group called Samizdat. Mean anything to you?
You mean those conspiracy nuts? Very bad for business. How much do they know?
Not sure. Good news is I got an exact location.
Find out whatever you can. What they know, what they want. If they blow the task force's cover, it's only a matter of time before someone blows up the task force.
Don't worry, Chang. I don't want the walls coming down just yet.
Go on. I'm going to get... The police if this continues.
What the hell?
They may call it a new world order, but we all know it has been going on for a long time. Really? Sounds like some crazy pseudo-religion. A large part.
I'm telling you, I hear whispers in the wall.
An elusive group of vigilante hackers were exposing big
Backstory. Then segue into earthquakes and clones, follow up on Dubai, and finish with local. Where are we on Praha the boss?
You're asking all the right questions. Still needs an ending.
Don't shoot!
Shit.
We're journalists!
Who invited the agent type?
Who are you? What do you want? Why are you here? You here because of the Dubai story? The article about the moon base? The clones on the moon base? Who sent you?
I'm here for Sam's dad. You in charge?
I take charge, but I'm not in charge, man. No one owns or dictates the truth. Freedom of information is a collective right, man, and a collective responsibility. That said, you gotta break someone's nose, you break my nose.
I didn't come here to break anything. I just need you to cooperate.
I spent my 20s in a commune, man. I'm all about cooperation.
Good. It's about something you've been looking into. It's making some people nervous. What do you know about Praha Dovos?
Oh, that little import company? I know there's more than boxes in the basement. We've seen agent types come in and out. The place is a curtain. The first in a series of many. Pull them all back and you'll find... Damn. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's a dead end.
Right. Guys like you always come down here because of dead ends.
Fine. Then what if it's something other people are already looking into? If someone like you makes too much noise, that may compromise any chance they have of uncovering something bigger. Do you understand?
I'm supposed to believe we're colleagues now? You men in black types, you walk into Pike's newsroom, tell them to be hush-hush about something, and they do it. But that's not how it works here. One day, you will all be exposed. If not by me, then someone just like me. Samizdat isn't one voice. K isn't one man.
What exactly do you do down here?
Samizdat is a media uprising. While Picus panders to corporate tyranny and government bullshit, we pump out the truth. We uncover it, we write it, we publish it. We get our noses broke for it.
So you print pamphlets?
Well, we do a lot more than that. We got ways of getting into Picus media network. That's how we disseminate information.
Information you get by hacking into places you shouldn't.
The truth is buried. If digging it up means skirting a few rules, so be it.
What did you mean when you said K wasn't one man?
K is an ideal, the intangible leader of tangible resistance. You can kill me, but then little K would become K. Kill little K and Bones over there becomes K. There's always a K.
And what if you kill Bones?
You can't kill Bones, man. Bones isn't real. I think he was one of them. He was supposed to be a prince of Belgium, man, but then he broke his condition. We found him inside this fucking cult, all confused, so we reprogrammed him with the truth.
Right. Suppose I needed to make a deal with Samizdat. There's no one person I can talk to?
Depends on the deal. I mean, there's always going to be an editor. Editor makes the final call on all published material. That would be me.
So you could ensure that something doesn't get talked about?
Depends on the deal.
I need you to stop looking into Brahadovos, but not for the reason you assume.
Relax, I get it. You don't think I do, but I do. You got to appease your military industrial masters. We've all been there, man.
I'm not who you think I am. The kinds of people who manipulate the news, who cover things up. You don't need to convince me that's who the enemy is.
The enemy is anyone who conceals the truth. And that's exactly what you're asking me to do. To pretend like that little import company isn't hiding something.
I'm asking you to see a difference between conspiracy and discretion. Between people who hide information in order to push their own agendas, and those who need to stay off the radar in order to do their jobs. You, of all people, should understand.
Okay. Okay, look. You seem like a reasonable guy. Huh? Hell, I've usually been punched by now. I find this refreshing. Here's the deal. We promise to forget all about Prahadovos and stay out of your way as long as you give us something better.
What do you suggest?
The only thing I hate more than secret organizations are toothless media conglomerates who don't hold anyone accountable, who spit lie after lie after lie. So I propose a trade. There are places my people can't get into. You get into one of those places and find me some dirt on the real enemy here. Picus Media. Do that, and I'll cut whatever you want me to cut. Who knows? Maybe you'll even learn something.
You're gonna forget everything you know about Prahadovos for now. It's the only way you get to protect your ideals.
Right, because concealing information is obviously the best way to keep people informed. You really think I'm that stupid? There's this word you might want to look up. It's called transparency. It means people have the right to know, no matter what the cause.
Fair enough, but there's a difference between speculation and fact. Right now I'm betting you don't have anything tangible to go on. You don't know who I am, what my role is, or what's really going on. Wait until the facts are out before you go spewing misinformation everywhere. Before you get people killed.
Okay, maybe I don't have all the facts yet, I'll give you that, but I know something's going on down there. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. That's why you always have to keep digging. The truth, the real truth. It's a rare fucking bird, man. And if you're too slow or too careful, it fucking flies off. So when I get so much as a hint of truth, I strike when I can, as hard as I can.
Whatever the cost, is that it? You want to be better than Picus, right? So what does Picus do? They frighten people. They sensationalize the news. They misdirect. If you want to resist them, you need to strive to be objective. You need to deal in truths. And the truth is, putting Brahadovos under the spotlight right now is dangerous to me and useless to the public. Wait until it's time.
Okay, I get it. I don't want to compromise no one's investigative journalism. Sometimes you move too fast and the real story flies off before you even had a chance to see it. That's not what we do here. So you go break open whatever it is you're breaking open, and we'll lay off Brahadovos. For now.
You're making the right choice.
We'll see. You know, we could still use your help, though. Journalistic integrity may not mean very much topside, but it still means something down here. And that's why I think you should help us. You're our best shot at hitting the mass media where it hurts.
All right, what do you want to know about Picus?
I want skeletons. The kind that companies like Picus come all the way to Prague just to bury. Corporate archiving, man.
Corporate archiving, huh? You asking me to break into a bank?
I'm not talking vaults here. Ashani Talvar, the Palisade CEO, she leverages her clients, keeps information about them close at hand. She's got something on Picus, I know it. I just can't get to it, but I bet you could. You poke into her office, find something that proves how nasty Picus is, how much they love to piss on the truth, and I promise you this, I'll misplace any file you want.
We'll see. Chang, you there?
What do you got for me?
Took care of Sama's dad. No one's going to be reading anything about us anytime soon.
Oh, I'll cancel the movers. How'd you do it?
I've reasoned with them. They're not going to give us any trouble.
Reasoned? With the conspiracy nuts.
I know what I'm doing.
I finally got through to my contact in the trade office.
Think of us as counterculture patriots. Our mission? To inform people. To offer an alternative to Picus. Kay's the editor. I'm the journalist. And Bones is the love that holds us together.
I finally got through to my contact in the trade office. He says to fuck off.
Keep trying, Bones.
I still think we should lead with Moonbase.
Keep trying, Bones. Keep giving them help.
Whatever you do, don't drink the coffee.
Keep trying, Bones.
So, you got anything on Picus?
I'm still on it. What are you working on right now? What's your big story?
We don't write stories, man. We bombard with facts. 63% of all earthquakes since 1997 were caused by geological bombs. Did you know that?
Must have missed that one.
There is nothing natural about these disasters. You like figures? 7.1 million Augs left in the world. That's down 89% since the incident. Darknet chatter, man, up 73% since that thing in Dubai. It's all related. You want a spoiler? You want the bottom line? I'll tell you. All part of a selective depopulation agenda they've had from the beginning. The means change, the targets change, but not the ideal. And our governments, they know about this, but the public has no idea. Why? Why is that? Because Picus controls 94% of the world's media, and 97% of what they report is complete bullshit. That's a fact.
You mentioned something about Dubai. What do you know about what happened there?
Ex-Belltower mercenaries working with local Slavic gangsters caught in the middle of a puppet show in the Middle East. The whole thing was carefully crafted vaudeville.
Crafted by who?
Someone who likes to rig the game. A puppet on each hand, man.
Where do you get this information from? Who's your source?
Voices in the dark, man. The moment you fall asleep is the moment they start talking. Stiff Alkidara, Kilvada, Changdala. That's what I hear. Whispers out of reach. It's like a scent. Something no one can hold on to yet.
So you have no idea?
I got plenty of ideas, but the more I talk, the less I can hear. Besides, journalistic integrity, man. We're not Picus down here, okay? We're one of the few media outlets left that aren't part of the global control mechanism. Indirect means on one side, direct means on the other. And once you're in the wheels of the machine, you're finished!
What do you need me to do exactly?
Dig up some dirt on Picus Media at the property bank. When you have something, we'll talk about getting the truth out there to the people.
Don't go anywhere.
Member of the Augmented Rights Coalition took up residence in the neighboring complex.
How are they taking it?
Just make it through this shift.
Was that a legal AUG?
Ahoy. I'm here.
All lots of things.
Keeping an eye on you, Og.
Yes, since 2017. However, this particular building was completed in 2024, and since then has acted as the head office.
Very impressive. It has also been recognized as a heritage site?
Absolutely. You're welcome to go inside and visit. Well, the lobby at least, it does remain a bank. Restricted areas are off limits.
Of course. Unless I decide to open an account? Thank you.
Pleasure, sir. I'm sure the receptionist will be happy to answer any questions you might have.
This blade is really quite something, isn't it? An architectural marvel.
Welcome to the Palisade Property Bank, sir. The lobby is open for visiting.
Absolutely secure. Data
Please see the
extractions
receptionist.
have never breached the level.
I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Allow me to
Hackers are
finish with
everywhere.
this, gentleman.
Not here.
Exactly. Of course, physical security is also paramount, and Tardos has an impeccable reputation.
Didn't you see I'm on the phone?
Well, I haven't seen someone augmented in here in, well, since the incident.
Do you work here? Custodial, perhaps?
No, you're too well upkept.
Ah, a waiter. One coffee, please.
From the black box recorder, suggesting the man may have
absolutely secure. Data extracted have never breached.
Hackers are everywhere. Not here.
Exactly. Of course, physical security also. Tardos has an impeccable.
Talk. Now I want to travel to Kara. What the hell do you think it is? That's what I want. This man tried to steal from us. Do you enjoy working for us? Does our company's money put a roof over your head? Does being employed with us enable your children to eat? Does your wife get to live in a safe, gated community instead of being surrounded by murderers and rapists? This man tried to take our money. Now, you think about what happens if that money suddenly disappears, and you make sure nobody ever tries to rob us again.
Not worth my
Several Fortune 500 companies to go bankrupt. Between you and me, folks, the Collective is one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. Like whatever praises the underground media wants to sing. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting to you live from Picus. Ariel is constantly bringing you the best and latest technology. Our portable data solutions have massive storage capacity, other patented features. Ariel, up in the stratosphere. Back to New York, and a more in-depth look at UN Security Council Resolution 3507, also known as the Human Restoration Act. This legislation, if passed, calls for the removal and downgrading of all overly powerful, unlicensed augmentation. Individuals who fail to comply will be arrested and relocated to designated AUG-only locations. Safety is a primary concern, especially in the wake of the AUG incident, where millions of people lost their lives due to malfunctioning augmentation. Of the legislation have been protests. And many of the protests have turned violent. This escalation in the violence and rhetoric has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting live from Lycus.
Please see the receptionist.
No, we had our golden years. This is the task and this is the elective office. No,
Yes, sub-level security room has our up-to-date security password.
Good. Haven't heard from mezzanine level or the corporate vault basement.
Can you get confirmation from IT?
I could, but they would only be able to...
I'm sorry, sir. The VIP vaults are only accessed by appointment, and there are no appointments scheduled.
You need an appointment to access your own vault?
For the corporate vaults, yes. This allows time for preloading your container into the viewing area. You also need your personalized keycard.
Thanks for the information.
I'm sorry, sir. I have some very important clients to see.
Of course it's easier. That's what the traffic policy is, right? Of course the privacy laws are bulletproof.
Sir, I am on the phone.
No augmented security, none. All automated. They barely help us being very easy. Of course it's easy. That's what the traffic policy is, right? Of course the privacy laws are bulletproof. I don't know. Santo has been a sure bet for a long time, but an augmented? Public opinion might see the whole process. No, we have our golden. With these attacks and the new collective offer, strong on the breaking economic collapse. When I was here during that time, those reforms were enacted mostly to attract corporations, and it worked. I don't know. Santo has been a sure bet for a long time, but an augmented? Public opinion might see the whole process.
Security is our main concern at Palisade.
No worries whatsoever. The whole building exudes a sense of fortification. You know what I mean?
Sorry, sir. Only employees beyond this point.
My company's valuable since Palisade first opened its doors, and my confidence in their security has only grown.
You have a corporate vault? I've
has only widened the gap and polarized the dialogue on both sides of the issue. We will be watching the UN closely for any break in the story. This is Eliza Cassette, reporting to you.
They may have batteries, but we got this. Ashanti energy drinks. For all you need to get through the day. Ashanti.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Sista Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks to the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history. I cannot speak for you folks, but terrifying memories of that day still haunt me. It will certainly be a while before any of us forget it. This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Exclusivity, anonymity, security. These are the greatest concerns of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company in the world.
Around the clock, around the world. Picus News. Always watching, because you are always watching. Turning now to Prague, a city still reeling in the wake of a devastating terror attack. Dozens were killed and hundreds more injured yesterday when bombs exploded inside Brzezinka train station. I do not need to remind you folks that this is the third such attack to strike Prague in 6 months. All of them occurring after Dr. Talis Rucker, leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition, took up residence in the neighboring Udalek complex. Dr. Rucker claims his organization is peaceful and merely seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned against them. But with the United Nations set to debate the Human Restoration Act in a matter of weeks, could the good doctor be changing his tune? Your guess is as good as mine. This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Picus News, the global leader in fair, unbiased, and impartial reporting. And now for a close look at the events.
about the subway.
Oh, no. We're a small company. A safe in the executive vaults is all we need. Or can afford. I must admit, the rates here are quite high.
I agree. However, you can't really put a price on peace of mind, can you? It was lovely meeting you.
And you. Goodbye.
Of course it's easier. That's what the Tractor Palace is, right? Our corporate privacy laws are bulletproof.